Okay, I cannot emphasize enough, you cannot have any glaze on the bottom of your piece. So if that happens, you get all those drips, once again, you have to wipe away. How high? How much? Pinky high. So if I set this down all the way up to where my pinky ends. Okay, so I'm going to keep scrubbing, scrubbing, scrubbing. You get the idea. Another fun thing you can do with wiping, I'm going to set this down. So I can also use wiping to reveal a texture. So let's say I want to make sure that this texture really pops out. I can wipe the glaze away partially so that it highlights my texture. Okay, so that can be kind of fun. Another thing I want you guys to experiment with is layering the glazes. So I've got one glaze already on here. I've stirred up my green chartreuse, and I'm just gonna dip the lip. Let it drip. And then we'll see what that turns out like. If it were paint and I was mixing brown or red and green, I'd get a brown. But this is glaze, so we don't know exactly what's gonna happen. It's gonna fire up to 2000 degrees, and then it will undergo a series of chemical reactions, and we won't necessarily get a normal mixture. So like black and white will not necessarily make gray. So it's kind of fun to see what happens. I definitely recommend writing down which glazes you use, so that if you get some combination that you really like, you have a record of it and you can replicate it. Okay, so let's say that I've cleaned off all my dry foot. I come over here. I need to put a label here. This will say high fire cart, and I put it on this cart. If Miss Goodrich or her TA go to load this and they see all this glaze on the bottom, we will reject it, and we'll get it all the way up on the very top shelf for rejected, at which point you can still claim it, clean it up, make sure it's got a nice dry foot, and then put it back on the cart. This is what happens when you don't have a dry foot. Okay, so there's dry foot, that's good. See, it even says good. If you don't put that dry foot, the glaze will melt and your piece will be stuck to the kiln shelf. The only way I'll be able to get it off is to break it off. So make sure you have that dry foot.